Now, go ahead and jump to slide number 4. We're gonna talk about 2 special groups, right? I'm gonna leave the verb endings up here behind me because we're gonna use those same verb endings regardless, but we're gonna look at 2 special groups, right? So these groups are the go verbs, right? This is the easier of the 2 because there's really only like 10 of these. And the only time or the only person it affects is yo, right? It's not gonna affect tú, it's not gonna affect ellos, it's not gonna affect nosotros, right? Just tú, right? And then the other group is these stem changers, right? This is a little bit more complex of an idea, right? Now, the big thing when we're looking at this is not to be too worried. I'm introducing these to you right now so that we can start to recognize them and they're not confusing when we see them throughout the class or in real life in a book, right? We start to recognize those patterns within the stem changers and then those 10 verbs that are those go verbs, right? I do not expect you after this week's lesson to be able to do these perfectly, right? But to be able to start to identify them as you see them in real life and be able to recognize, that's a go, that's a stem changer, right? So going to slide number 5, going to slide number 5, we have our 10 go verbs, right? So the 10 go verbs are only have this weird irregular form with the yo, right? The rest is gonna stay the same, right? Now some of these like tener and venir are also stem changers, but we're gonna get to that in a second, right? So the important thing to know is these 10 here. And really there's 9 because saying yo valgo, not super useful, right? But yo tengo, right? I have. Yo tengo 3 hermanos. I have 3 brothers. Yo vengo, I come. Yo vengo a la casa. I come to the house, right? Cool. I do or I make. Yo hago la cena. Yo hago ejercicio. I make dinner. I do exercise, right? Yo pongo, I put. Yo pongo las llaves en la mesa. I put the keys on the table. Yo salgo. Yo salgo con mis amigos. I go out with my friends, right? Yo digo, I say. Yo digo la verdad. I say the truth or I tell the truth, right? Yo traigo, I bring. Yo traigo un amigo a la fiesta, right? I bring a friend to the party. Yo oigo el perro afuera. I hear the dog outside, right? Yo caigo, I fall. Yo caigo afuera, I fall outside. And yo valgo, which would be like I am worth. You're probably not gonna say this one very often, right? But it's important in other aspects, which is why I give it to you, right? Now, going to slide number 6, we can see some of these sentences in action, right? Yo tengo 2 clases hoy, right? Yo vengo de España. Yo hago la tarea todos los días. Yo pongo la mesa antes de comer. Yo salgo con mis amigos los viernes. Yo digo la verdad siempre. Yo traigo el libro a clase. Yo oigo música por las mañanas. Yo caigo cuando corro muy rápido. I fall when I run really fast. And yo valgo mucho para este equipo. Right? Now, I want you to take 3 of these go verbs, right? And I want you to come up with a sentence of your own, right? So maybe you choose tengo, pongo, and digo, and you come up with a sentence, right? Go ahead and pause the video. When you get done, you can send these to me for some feedback and correction via email. But go ahead and pause the video. Once you get done, we'll move forward into those stem changers.